Josh George here. College football prediction week 7 predictions coming at you now. 9-3 last week. Gonna do better this week. Worked really hard on making these predictions here. Um, so we're gonna start with a game in the Big 12, West Virginia at Houston. This will be the Dana Holgorsen game. Lots of emotions. Neil Brown has been coaching for his job all season and has got to West Virginia to 4-1. Pat McElvey talking about how he loves the tempo of West Virginia. I imagine they're going to slow it down this week because this could be an up and down game because we all know that Houston plays with a lot of tempo. Lindsay, of course, talks about fading West Virginia against the spread when they're on the road, but they did so well when they played at TCU, ended up pulling that upset. This, however, would not be that big of an upset, and it's all going to come down to little defensive plays as both of these offenses are doing so well, and what team can, of course, establish their tempo as Houston wants to go fast, fast, fast. Can guys in the secondary, like defensive back Bishop Jr. for West Virginia, make big plays? If he does, they will win. I am picking West Virginia, the Mountaineers, to go to Houston and beat the Cougars. Now, our G5 game of the week takes place on a Friday. Tulane goes to Memphis. Both teams coming off an off week. Quarterback play is questionable at Tulane right now. Where Memphis is 64 in the 247 talent composite. Tulane is 71. But Tulane has the best rush defense in the American Conference so far. Stop the run, win the game. I predict the Green Wave to beat the Tigers. Two teams that have fared somewhat well. Now Miami has a taste in their mouth unlike any other after losing to Georgia Tech. Van Dyke has got to play better if they are going to win this game. And of course, North Carolina's, high on the hog, scoring 40 last week. But this O-line, man, they had what I consider a one and out game. I don't know how good they're going to do against Miami's D-line, and I imagine Van Dyke puts in some extra work this week as they go on the road to face North Carolina. Give me the Hurricanes to beat old Mac Brown. And I expect Drake May to get sacked 5 times and that to make the difference. That's why I'm picking Miami. Two teams that lost to, other really good teams in the SEC. Two teams that are one-loss teams. Missouri goes to Kentucky. It's going to come down to who can be less penalized, as major penalties hurt these teams last week. Missouri's offense kept stalling, and Kentucky, oh my gosh, the unnecessary roughnesses and just the unnecessary penalties, and all of a sudden it looked almost like they quit out there against Georgia. And I think I've actually got these logos backwards. I think this one's at Missouri, but the FBI gives Kentucky a 62% chance to win. So I'm going to go with the Wildcats and Mark Stoops to rebound. Now, look, Illinois, and Allen says he's got a lot of extra plays for this one. He says defensively, we're going to go all out. Offensively, we're opening the bag. And he says we might even break in some new offensive linemen. But I just don't feel good as talking about penalties. Michigan's #1 in fewest penalties. The best fundamentally sound team. Sorry, it's hard to beat them. I've got the Wolverines beating the Illini, or beating the Hoosiers. There we go. Okay, Texas A&M at Tennessee. A&M is 11. in first down defense. They would have beat Alabama if it wasn't for the running of Milroe. But Milton is an amazing quarterback at Tennessee who can run the ball. And Tennessee is 20th in total offense. May be a game to take the under because Tennessee's going to have slow, long, more methodical drives, but I think they're going to get the win. USC, well, they won by 2 points. And that defense was, well, they got to stop when they needed to. And Notre Dame, offense, couldn't get the wheels turning. So it's a team that's got a decent defense against a team that's got an amazing offense. Look, I went back and forth and then back and forth some more. I decided to go with USC because of Caleb Williams. I can trust them to score points. Now, UCLA at Oregon State. DGU is a great quarterback, but Dante Moore, good quarterback for UCLA. He's a 6'3" guy who's thrown 8 touchdowns, but he's only 100th in QBR. I think he gets outdealt here by Oregon State. I've got them winning at home against the UCLA Bruins. I'm picking the Tigers in this one. Auburn goes down to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where LSU has Brian Thompson Jr., who is number 4 in the SEC in all-purpose yards. But wait, there's more for LSU, as Malik Neighbors is number 2 in the SEC in all-purpose yards. But LSU's defense, let's be honest, they're very questionable. According to SG1 Sports, they're one of the worst Tiger defenses we've seen in 5 years. Can Hugh Freeze and this offense take advantage? I just am thinking, and I'm going with my gut. I've got the Tigers, the Auburn Tigers, to defeat LSU. Take the over, high-scoring game. Auburn defense creates a big turnover and finds a way to win in a big rivalry game. Ohio State at Purdue. Hudson Card is a good quarterback. Another offensive line that is just not doing good. And, of course, Purdue has the most drops in the Big Ten, where Ohio State has the best wide receiving core in probably all of college football. I've got the Buckeyes beating the Boilermakers, and they go on the road and win. Little rivalry game here. North Carolina State plays Duke. Duke is number 5 in blocked kicks and number 1 in the ACC in special teams. But offensive coordinator for North Carolina State, Robert Ain, is talking about we're going to take shots early and take the crowd out of the game. For that reason, I think that they might have some incomplete balls, some drives that stall. I've got the Duke Blue Devils winning this one. To our game of the week at top 10 matchup, Oregon goes down to Washington. If the Heisman Trophy traveled around like the college football playoff trophy does, it would be here as Bo Nix takes on Michael Penix. Let me be the first to bring you their stats. Bo Nix has 15 touchdowns to 1 interception and 1449 total yardage, passing yardage. Penix, 16 touchdowns, 2 INTs, and 1999 as his passing yards. I really think the key to this game, though, is stopping the run. Look, Oregon struggled against Texas Tech to stop the run. Was a 1-possession game. Washington kind of struggled to stop the run against Arizona. And I went with both of these quarterbacks have an amazing run game. But if there's one quarterback that knows how to run the ball, Bo knows. They go on the road and get the miracle win. Kind of a magical, amazing game. Ducks win. I'm Josh George. This was Week 7 college football predictions.